What's up, everybody? We're back. You don't know what time it is. We're back with Boss Talk. You're here with me, AJ. You already know who it is, the one and only. And we got...
Hey, everyone. It's Oyin.
Yo, what's up? It's KT.
What's up, everybody? It's Sunja.
What's good, everybody? This is your girl, Moonchild.
So this episode is about the 20-somethings, you know, the highs, the lows, the woes, and most importantly, the hoes.
Damn.
I'm playing. But no, this episode is about the 20-somethings, and we're gonna start off with a little rapid fire question game. So we're all gonna answer the same questions, but the spiciest answer must get an explanation. So we got Sunja up first. You ready?
You know I was born ready, baby.
Yeah, okay. Boom, 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 boom. Nah, all right. So 1, 2, 3, go. What was your major in college?
Psychology.
What is your least favorite adult responsibility?
Paying bills.
Initials of your college crush?
I guess BA.
One word to describe your dating life?
Fun.
Ooh. One word that you would use to describe your life in the last year?
Interesting.
One word to describe your post-grad life?
Spicy.
Ooh.
What's one word to describe something you miss about your college life?
Friends.
Favorite gospel song?
Never. Oh, actually, Alabaster Box. CC Winan.
Okay. One word to describe something you regret doing in college?
I don't regret things.
Okay. Do you use dating apps?
No, I think I used one maybe freshman year of college.
Okay.
But no.
Okay, so that completes the first round of rapid fire. But honestly, I want to know the explanation to one word to describe your life in the last year.
My life in the last year, when I say spicy.
Yeah, spicy.
I feel like in the last year, I don't know, it's just been crazy. Like a lot of ups and downs, a lot, adult responsibility.
Give us an example.
Men,
we want to know. Give us
niggas.
Which niggas?
I mean, as far as my life in the last year, dating wise, it's been a lot of up and down. We had the nigga cheating incident. Then we got the Sunja's in the streets incident. And then Sunja was calm. So
growth, progression.
Yeah, growth, progression. We're making it. 2020 may not be the best year, but it's definitely a year of growth and knowledge and understanding. Here we are.
All right, we love to hear it. That's what we like to hear. That ain't no problem.
Okay, let me see what you got, Oyin. I'm putting you in the hot seat.
Oh God.
Okay, Oyin. One word to describe your dating life.
Non-existent at the moment.
Least favorite adult responsibility.
Washing the bathroom.
Bro, I've been washing the bathroom since I was like 7.
Since I was
Me too,
Like,
and I still hate doing it. That's why it's my least favorite adult responsibility.
Y'all wash the bathroom? Y'all
No.
don't clean the bathroom?
No, we have to wash it every week, but I still hate
every
doing
week.
From
Once
jump.
a week, every Saturday.
But how's that an adult responsibility if you've
'Cause
been
it
doing
still
that
has
as
to
a
be
youth?
done. It still has to be done. It still has to be done.
Okay.
Okay, favorite gospel song.
Your Spirit by Tasha Cobbs Leonard.
What was your major in college?
Human development with a minor in Africana studies.
Ooh.
Okay.
Initials of your college crush.
Crushes JM and CN.
Calculating.
Trying to piece together the second initial.
Right.
Yo,
Right.
facts. I'm like, yo, what is she talking about?
We gonna come back to that. One word to describe something you miss about college life.
Excess freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use dating apps?
Yeah.
Oh no, one word to describe post-grad life.
Interesting.
One word to describe your life in the last year.
Interesting again.
Boo.
No, you can't use the same word twice. No.
Boo.
Hopeful.
Boom. There you go.
Okay.
Use one word to describe something you regret doing in college.
Not networking. Oh, that's not.
Oh, okay, network. Okay, I like that.
Networking.
We'll
Okay.
take it. We'll take it.
Okay, so definitely where I'm coming from. Tell me who the C. Talk about the CN. I'm trying to figure out the initials of the crush. What's going on?
Well, I cannot expose myself like that. I can definitely expose this person after we are done recording, but
No, can you describe a little bit? Maybe give us a little description.
the way if I describe him, it's too hot.
Can you say it rhymes with
No.
Shalom Lockley?
Does
it rhyme with
Shalom Lockley?
Give us one detail that we might know. Like that we might know that maybe like the rest of our viewers might not know, just to give us a little hint. Come on.
I mean, he was a student athlete.
Boom.
Girl, bye.
Can you at least give
Many
us the
student
story?
athletes there were.
Was he black? Because that'll definitely narrow it down.
All right, enough about me. Kennedy, it's your turn. Use one word to describe something you regret doing in college.
Not being social.
One word to describe something you miss about college life.
Friends.
Your favorite gospel song.
Never Would Have Made It by Marvin Sapp.
Least favorite adult responsibility.
Bills, but like that's on all lowercase bills.
I hate you. Do you use dating apps?
No, ma'am.
One word to describe your dating life.
Non-existent.
Initials of your college crush.
N/A.
Bitch! I hate
That's
you,
really crazy.
Kennedy. I have to
I hate that
expose
answer.
myself.
It's like, nah, I'll tell y'all. Because this is a moot point. I'm not going to say the order that it's in, but there's a V in it, an E,
Sis,
and
goodbye.
a T.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, moving on. Use one
Oh
word to
my
describe
gosh.
your life in the last year.
Hectic.
One word to describe your post-grad life.
Expensive.
And what was your major in college?
Psychology, baby.
Which one do I want to know about? Well, why'd you say your dating life is non-existent, Kennedy?
Well, Miss Ma'am, I wouldn't call it dating. I consider myself to be an explorer, if you will. And I really don't see myself as, I just feel like it's not really there. It's nothing serious going on. So I really, it's just, yeah.
So, no answer to my question. Thank you.
I was gonna say, like, that was not an answer. Like, you made a lot of you made a lot of noises.
All right,
You
you
never
want to bring up
answered the
anything else?
question. Boring.
Ask me another question. What else?
Talk about TBE.
Ooh, who is that?
Oh, yeah. Who is the
First
person
of all,
with an E and a B and a T?
Yeah, talk about TBE, EBT.
Well, honestly, I feel like it's not really a secret for all of those who went to school with me. It may be to that person, but if it is, then he's oblivious to a lot of things. But he was also an athlete, a black athlete, and
Black
All
lives.
right, pass. Used to be boring. Pass.
what else you want me to say?
Next caller.
Next caller.
I'm crying. Oh, God.
What did Miss Cleo say? She got another caller on the next line?
Jesus Christ, I hate y'all. Fine, forget y'all then. Next, Miss Moonchild, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we're gonna start off where apparently I had to leave off. So initials of college crush.
TS.
Least favorite adult responsibility.
Paying rent on my overpriced apartment at school that I'm not living in right now.
Okay. One word to describe something you miss about college life.
The homies.
Favorite gospel song.
I'm basic, but No Weapon is
I
like
knew you was gonna say that.
a huge part of my everyday life. Very powerful.
Use one word to describe your life in the last year.
Blessing.
What was your major in college?
Business.
Do you use dating apps?
Is Instagram a dating app?
honestly, though. Wait, hold on. One word to describe post-grad life.
Dead ass? Question mark.
Word.
Thanks, though.
One word to describe your dating life.
I'd say that's kind of dead. DED.
Use one word to describe something you regret doing in college.
Regret.
Shut up.
I hate you.
Well, you had a lot of things, sis. Let's talk about Instagram being a dating app.
Okay.
I would like to know that as well.
Because honestly, you're not wrong.
Second that one.
I think Instagram isn't like how many times, because here's the thing, people don't comment on my pictures, they DM me about my pictures.
Mm.
So
been there than that.
Yo Gotti wasn't playing, like when he said go down in the DMs, like that's where everything be happening. That's, you know.
Yeah, honestly, Instagram's the modern day eHarmony for real. Like,
Shut
I feel like
Kennedi.
all right, last thing I want to point out. All right, favorite gospel song. What's the story behind that?
Okay, so obviously that's a very popular, I don't want to say basic to describe gospel songs and songs about the Lord, but it's a very popular gospel song. And I had heard it throughout my whole life, but I felt like that became like a song I listened to almost every single day when I got to college because, you know what? There were some demons out there trying to test me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just about people, it's about circumstances too. So just knowing, no weapon formed against you will beat you. You will get through anything. I would sing this song. I would sing that song when I was running the mile, humming to myself.
Yes, ma'am. Sure did.
When I was getting cussed out.
Kai Moon, can you give us a quick bar on No Weapons? A little birdie told me you sing. Give us a little.
Who told you that?
No Weapons.
Who told you that?
Don't do that.
Didn't you hear her? She said a bird. Just sing. Damn.
She thinks she moves in silence like lasagna. That's why.
I swear I told her a bird. She talking about
a bird.
A bird.
Like, it flew all the way from Chicago to New York. Now sing.
Can I channel my Fred Hammond voice?
Yes, you can, sis. Go ahead, sis.
God will do.
No. Bye. Bye. You so stupid.
What's wrong with you?
You said to sing the song, so I was going to sing the song like Fred.
His voice ain't that damn deep.
His voice is deep. Have you heard the song?
Yo,
girl, yes, I heard the song.
Wrong with you?
Because I could really.
Wrong with you?
I'm trying to tell you, I could really channel my Marvin Sapp too. Like it's pretty good.
Y'all, she bluffing. She can actually, hold a few tunes. All right, she bluffing.
I tried to get it out. Y'all started laughing at me. I felt insecure.
She didn't feel support.
Yo.
I didn't feel support from my sisters, and it hurt. But you know what? That's okay though, because my Jamaican sister is on the board next. So Miss James, what is one word you would use to describe your dating life?
Honestly,
Bro, stop it.
I don't have a word for that, but I guess I would say interesting.
One word to describe something you regret doing in college.
Rat bastard.
Rat bastard. That is that one word or is that two words?
It's hyphenated actually. So.
Okay, that makes sense. I just need to be educated. Do you use the dating apps?
I do not.
Damn. All right. Y'all gotta
I find
get
all
her a
my
different
friends
way.
in the club.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Meet her in the club.
That's a fact.
Going down.
Is the club a dating app?
I'll be in the Mickey Mouse clubhouse. I ain't ready for that yet.
Shut the hell up, Kai.
Yo,
I
stop
hate her. I hate
it.
her.
Stop it.
Initials of your college crush.
I ain't have one of those. I was ugly.
Shut the fuck up.
They say,
Stop.
Alyssa, them is lies. Them is lies.
Bro, who was I crushing on in college?
Alyssa.
Oh, matter of fact, I did have a crush on this boy that I went to my first college with. I don't know his last name though, so I'm gonna say
T Grizzly.
T Grizzly.
One word to describe your post-grad life.
Exciting.
What was your major in college?
Geography.
One word to describe something you miss about college life.
My friends, my black leads.
What is your least favorite adult responsibility?
Making appointments for any type of doctor, dentist. I don't know why.
What is one word you'd use to describe your life in the last year?
Consistent.
Okay. What is your favorite gospel song?
So there's this song called Start a Fire. It's by Chronix. It's not really a gospel song, but it's a reggae song. But that song, I'm using this as my song. If not, it would be Never Would Have Made It. But Start a Fire, when I tell you that song got me through my whole first year at Binghamton, when I was by myself basically, and damn near hated that shit. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that song.
So I'd say out of all the questions that you answered, I'm personally interested to know why your ass ain't been to the doctor in a long time.
Girl. you know why I ain't been to the doctor in a long time. Because now I'm of the age where I gotta make my own appointments. Mama ain't making those appointments no more. So
Are you afraid?
No. The thing is, okay, so let me give you the breakdown. So my primary care physician used to be in Long Island because I used to go to school out on Long Island. And they got good doctors out there and stuff. So once I went to Binghamton and they started doing my physicals for me, I didn't need to go to the doctor out on Long Island anymore. On top of that, after I came home, I went to play overseas. We got a physical over there. And after I came back, I started working in the city. So there's no way that I was going to Long Island to go to a doctor's appointment. Now I really don't have an excuse. But I'm gonna go. I'm healthy.
So Alyssa is healthy. She can take on the world. She would make a suitable wife.
All right, so next I want to talk a little bit about the pressures put on you by probably your parents as well as society for your 20-somethings and coming into your 20-somethings. I know this is true for a lot of people culturally, but did y'all ever feel pressured by either your parents or society to do or be certain things while you were in college and even after college? And most importantly, did it work?
I feel like for me, I didn't really feel pressured from my parents to enter a certain career path or anything. But I will say, like, in terms of my peers, so, you know, a lot of them I was seeing like in college and then after college more so, you know, get their own cars, like move into their own apartments. And I'm sitting here like, dang, like, I want that. That sounds nice. Like, even though I have a car, like it's a lease, I'm not thinking the back soon. But like I wish I had my own, and I was like kind of looking like, geez, like what did I go wrong? But then I kind of had to think about it. Like all my life, I've been playing basketball, and I haven't had a job, and they've probably been saving up mad long for like those things. Mm-hmm. And you know, I kind of had to stop myself and be like, yo, just, you know, be thankful for, you know, the things you do have, like no debt, hallelujah. And you know, you don't have to be the same place as everyone else. So, but like, I think that was like the two things that I was like noticing that I was like super conscious of, and I had to kind of bring myself back and be like, stop comparing yourself to everyone else, because you don't know what else they got going on or whatever. So yeah.
I feel like for me, I am the child of African immigrants. So you got three career choices: doctor, engineer, or lawyer. And I was not going to be any of them. So maybe like my freshman year I wanted to be a doctor, but I took chemistry, whatever, 104, whatever that John 108, I don't know. And that thing wrecked me. I hated it. So just trying to find out like where I wanted to, what I wanted to do, where I wanted to be was definitely hard. But I feel like society in a strange way made it okay for you not to really know what you want to do like immediately. Because I feel like no one truly knows what they really want to do in life. But so I guess to answer your question, did it work? No, but I'm blessed to have African parents that are understanding and are willing to support me no matter what career path I go down, as long as I'm successful. So yeah.
Love to hear it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I think like just a mix of both like Oyin and Kennedy's answers. Like I grew up in a Caribbean household, so there's very similar constrictions. Like these are the only careers that are seen as valuable in our society. This is what we're pushing you towards, because we know that like, I know that the big goal for them is that like I'm financially stable in the future. So they push towards like financially stable in jobs, which is great and all. But again, to Oyin's point, you know, I went into college thinking I was gonna be a doctor too, and I took bio, and I was like, screw that, that's not for me. It's very cute. It's not for me though. It's not for me.
Very cute.
But like, so there is a lot of pressure, but again, with the pressure came also a lot of support. So like when my parents realized that like that wasn't something that I was into or that I wanted to do, they supported me either way, like as long as I was getting my education and like I had some kind of goal. But as far as responsibility, like society puts a lot of pressure on you, because like at 20 something right now, like you see a lot of people who do Forex, you see a lot of people that do a bunch of things that are getting quick money, and it feels a lot of times like, oh, I don't have all these material things. Like, how come I can't buy my own apartment? How come I can't buy my own car? How come I can't do all these things? But you made a really good point, Kennedy, about like the athlete piece. A lot of us, like, we were training a lot over the summers. Like, the summers weren't a time for us to be saving money and like thinking about any other thing but our sport. A lot of our peers worked during the school year. We didn't have time to do that a lot of times. And I think like it definitely took a big toll on us, on like what we expect from ourselves. Like we're like, okay, at 22, I can still have this leeway. I can still have this stuff. And then like at 24, 25 is when I should really be settling down and stuff like that. But it does set you back a little bit with that pressure.
Yeah, I can for sure identify with a lot of what everybody's touched upon so far. And I think for me, my mom is a business professor, and she was always on like me and my siblings, you know, business and this in STEM, that's where all the money is. Like, you want to major in science, you want to major in business. Now, my science portion of the ACT score, that wasn't cute. So I wasn't about to be no biologist, no engineer, nothing like that. So I said, okay, I guess in my head, my only other option was business. So I went ahead. I'm a business major now, so obviously her brainwashing worked.
Damn, brainwashing.
That was a big word.
She didn't really mean that. She didn't really mean that, Miss Moon.
Listen, I love my mom. I think if I had the option of going into college and not choosing a major, I probably would have done that and then decided. But because the School of Management at Binghamton was harder to transfer into, I just applied for it. I got in. So I said, if I don't like it, I'll transfer, but at least I'm here now. So I stuck it out. And honestly, I think that taught me so much about like perseverance and commitment and dedication. Like, I'll be real, I was the only Black person in most of my, like, all my classes. And I think that got in my head a little bit, because I'm seeing all these kids from New York City who are top of their classes and all these other things, and I'm like, can I compete with them? And there's also barely any athletes in SOM either. So that was a huge part of my journey to grow as a person. So I'm glad that I did that. I got a great education, and I think it made me better as a person for it. But anyways, aside from that, societal wise, I think, like you said, with being an athlete, I'm so grateful that I graduated debt-free, but it also, I was training the entire summer. I had no chances for internships, and then your season is basically the entire school year. So when do you have time to dedicate to your future? So I would see like other students making moves, you know, getting cars or buying their apartments or whatever. And for me, like I was talking to my dad, and he was like, the thing that I majored in college, I'm not even using to do what I'm doing now. And I think there's a lot of people who are like that. So he didn't even know what he wanted to do coming out of college. There's a lot of people that don't know what they want to do. So you don't have to rush into getting a job, finding a career path right away. I'm still very, very young, and I have my entire life to discover. There's certain things that I want to do now that I'm not going to be able to do later. So like I'd want to travel, I want to make memories with my friends, because once we get kids and get married, we gonna be on lockdown for real. So
girls trip.
While I have freedom, I'd like to be able to exercise those freedoms and live my life. So
Period.
For me, like, I grew up in a Caribbean household as well, but like my parents were a lot more relaxed than the majority of other Caribbean households. So like, of course, you know, that's just the mindset when you come from the Caribbean, like, oh, you got to do the things that make the money. Like you have to, like your parents will do those things that like didn't make all the money, but they want you to make the money now. So you don't really get the option to do like the shit that doesn't make money. But again, my household was relaxed. So like, yes, there was always that, oh, you should go try to be a doctor. You should try to be a lawyer. You should try to do something like that. But it was never like, this is the only way that you can go and make money. Especially because like after a while I did start becoming a little bit better in basketball, and I feel like that kind of opened up, well, aside from that, let me take it back actually. So like someone in my family has made a career out of basketball, and I think that kind of showed the other people in my family that you can make a career out of things that are not exactly conventional. So like I think that was kind of the start of that, with the more relaxed ways of like making it. And I'm not saying that I was like WNBA bound from like middle school or anything like that, but I think it kind of just opened up like the ideas to something else, especially because I did end up getting a scholarship to go to school and play basketball and get an education. So I don't feel like I ever had those pressures from my parents. Societal pressures, I guess they were there, but it never really like bothered me. From like a very young age, I really stopped giving a shit about what people thought about me. Of course, you know, sometimes shit was still hurtful, but you know, from like a young age, I was just like, you know, people are gonna say what they want to say, they gonna act how they want to act. Plus, I'm bigger than y'all, so. But
Step to me if you want to.
Exactly.
Left if you buck, baby.
better come correct.
But yeah, so like that was just my personal experience. But like, you know, I'm kind of a person who likes to let life kind of lead me places, as opposed to trying to control everything, every step that I take moving forward and stuff like that. And I know life can prove to be very different than how you planned it out in college and stuff like that, as we all know. Well, we'll see for you guys since you just fresh out. But I know
First day out.
Right, like even I'm in a different place than I would have expected to be when I was even at my senior year in college. So I want to know how it is for y'all. Like, is everything going as planned? Are you enjoying it? Like, how have your responsibilities changed?
Post grad was definitely not what I expected or planned. I think like I knew after my senior year of college, during my senior year of college, I knew I wanted to go into education, like not necessarily like I knew I wanted to work in a school building. I didn't know in what capacity. I didn't know if it was like counselor or teacher or, you know, leader, whatever that meant. I just knew that I wanted to work with education reform and work with children to make sure that like our kids have a better future than we do and that they have representation like us in front of them. But I guess I ended up being in a school anyways. I guess that is what I expected. Plan? Not really, I guess. I, you know, working in a school now, I think like when I imagine at 25, I would already be like 2 years into my 5-year daycare plan. That's obviously not gonna happen right a second. But I feel like responsibility-wise, like it's like you know all the things that you're supposed to do, like you know all the things that your parents go through, but like actually having to do it, like you said, setting up my own doctor's appointment. Like my mom used to do that. I didn't ever have to do that ever for myself. Like every month being like, ooh, I remember like when I worked like at my stepdad's restaurant for a little bit. And I remember when I got the check, it was like, ooh, I can go spend this check. I don't have nothing to spend. Like I don't have to pay phone. I don't have to do anything. Now it's like you got your check and you're like, yep, here's my $3 left after I paid all my bills. For my food and my groceries, like
you're like, damn, I'm broke for the next 2 weeks now.
Yo, now you gotta scrap together. Like, is it worth getting this water bottle right now? Is it worth
for real? You gotta think about every purchase.
Yeah, you do, and I think like that's definitely something that like it's like you can always expect things. Like you can always expect what your life is gonna be, but like actually living it and like experiencing it is always a different story. So I think like that's life, and that's definitely post-grad life.
I feel like for me, I'm like also like fresh out of grad life, so I'm 1 year out. But I would have to say that I'm doing exactly what I thought I would be doing. For me, when I like plan things, like I have to plan in advance. So like, you know, I'm just blessed that so far, like my life was like going how I kind of wanted to go in terms of, you know, I wanted to play college basketball, get a free education. I did that in about like my junior year. My dad was like talking to me about like what I wanted to do after college, and I knew I wanted to get my master's. He was like, you ever thought about being a graduate assistant? You know, you can work with, you know, a basketball team and get your master's paid for. And I was like, oh, we love free things. So so I did that. So I'm doing that right now. So I'm, you know, blessed to be getting another degree. But in terms of responsibilities, you know, I'm still fairly much tied to my parents. I'll never forget when my like dad started to slowly slice the umbilical cord, and he was like, you know, you're gonna have to start paying your own Apple Music bills. And I was like,
I'm dead.
I was like, dang. But like,
she said
honestly,
their own Apple Music.
Like, I mean, other than that, like they still pretty much pay for a lot of my stuff, like car insurance. I do make my own doctor's appointments though. I do that. Okay. But there's still stuff that, because I'm still in school and I don't have like a official job as in a salary, I'm not like completely immersed into the full-on adult life. So, you know, stay tuned for next year and I'll let y'all know how that is. But you know, I feel like post-grad life is definitely, you know, different, just because like with, you know, playing a sport, you're kind of like completely like on this schedule all the time. And I still am because I'm with a team, but I have a little more freedom in terms of like, you know, outside of practices and stuff. Like I don't have to participate in like, you know, physical activity or anything. But yeah, like everything's straight for the most part.
For me, I'm not really sure what I expected for post-grad life. I honestly never really thought about what I wanted to do until my senior year. But my senior year, I lucked out and got a scholarship to come back to complete my master's. So I did that, and I probably didn't know exactly what I wanted to do until I was going into my last semester of grad school. which is working with like athletes basically.
Yeah, and I feel like you had so many different ideas about like
Yeah.
what you wanted to do leading up to that.
Yeah. So, and that's why I said earlier, like, no one genuinely knows what they want to do. Everyone's kind of like everywhere until they really come across like, okay, this is what I'm meant to be doing. But yeah, like as for responsibilities, I don't really have any at the moment. Thank God.
besides cleaning the bathroom.
Yes, besides cleaning the bathroom, yes. I have to pay for my gas and my Spotify bill. But yeah, no, like even though I would love to be in my apartment in the city, drive my Maserati truck and
okay, girl.
Damn.
Okay.
You know,
but
but I will get there soon, God willing.
This definitely not what I thought my post-grad life was going to be like. I know Alyssa touched on it a little bit before, and I'm sure most of y'all don't know, but I graduated like 2 weeks ago. So I did not expect to be in the middle of a pandemic and civil rights movement, part 2. But you know what? I think I'm adjusting to life right now, and honestly, we're still living through all of this, and who knows what the rest of this year will be. I had planned on hopefully going to get my master's, working in sports as well as marketing for an athletics department at another university, to get my master's paid for, like similar route Kennedi had done. So obviously they don't even know if college will be happening. So that's that opportunity is not looking too hot for me right now. But other opportunities have opened up given the circumstances we're all in right now. So I'm grateful for that. And there are things that I'm able to do now that I wasn't able to do before. But I definitely wish I was in New York with all my friends right now. That's where I planned on. I know that's where I planned on continuing my life, because when you get out of college you have all this freedom, and in my head I'm like, all right, this is like some High School Musical stuff, like the start of something new, like I'm gonna be out there basically, yeah, like I'm gonna be out there with my friends, like don't call me mom and dad to check on me, I got my own stuff now, I'm gonna get a job and I'm gonna live on my own, and now I'm living in my mom's basement, so it's things quickly
Kim
do a
said
180.
you thought
Basically, right. I thought, but I'm saving a lot more from doing that, and I know this will not last forever. So
too shall pass.
Yeah, so we'll see.
no weapon.
Absolutely.
No weapon.
That's right.
I guess like I'm enjoying where I'm at right now. Like I said, like I don't like to try to control every step that I take forward, and I feel like we all live in phases, or maybe phases isn't the right word, but like we live in like sections of our life, whatever the proper word is for that. But it's funny because I feel like we used to have so many conversations about what age we was gonna be like married at, our kids' names, all that shit. Like we used to sit in the fucking
on the chalkboard.
Yes.
Yes.
So we used to write all that shit on the chalkboard. And like I feel like it's funny because we're getting closer to those ages that we mentioned. We was gonna be doing this at, we're gonna be doing that at. And I know I'm nowhere near that place that I was talking about back then. I'm not ready. I don't want to be there yet. But in terms of dating, how has your idea of dating changed over the years? Is it where you thought it would be? Like, I know a lot of people have different ideas of what they were dating for back in school, and the idea is a lot different now. So like, let me know. I want to hear it.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm 2 weeks out of college, and the only men that I've had like consistent like face-to-face interaction with are my brothers and my dad. So dating has definitely not gone anywhere for me since I graduated. But I think throughout college, I always had the mentality of dating to marry, and I think that stopped me from dating more than I would have, because I was always thinking like I had to see the husband and the person I was dating. So I would be quick to like write people off and just say like, nah, you're not it. So I think for me now, I've changed a little bit in saying like, I'm not looking for a husband. If I was looking for a husband, I'd be definitely dating to marry. So since I'm not, I'm just gonna date for fun. And if something comes out of that, then something comes out of that. But I'm not gonna put the pressure on myself to date to find my husband. And plus, I think it's important that while you're younger, you exercise the freedoms that you have. And I think also we're finding our purposes in life right now. And getting involved in a serious relationship sometimes can complicate those things in that journey. So I'm not looking to complicate that right now. And if something comes of it, it comes of it. But yeah, I'm dating for the fun of it, for play, whatever.
I'm definitely gonna have to co-sign with Kai. Yeah, no, I actually haven't been on a date yet. So to any of our listeners who would like to take me on a date, I am willing to go. But seriously, I feel like I'm definitely at a point in my life where I just kind of want to date for fun. Dating to marry is great. But right now, I feel like in the past I've shut myself off from a lot of people because of my own insecurities. So now just kind of like want to put myself out there a little bit more, have some fun, and we'll see where it goes from there.
I feel you. Like, I feel like my idea of dating has changed so much from like I won't say so much, but like it's definitely changed from when I was in school even to like now. Like I think at a certain point in my life, I did have a very romanticized idea of what dating to marry would like look like and feel like and stuff like that. And I feel like I have dated people that I've been like, like, you know, this might be it right here. Obviously, you know, that all crashed and burned at some point, but you know, at the time, you know, it felt good, it felt right. But you know, I feel like even those experiences where it crashed, maybe not, you know, it burned, crashed and burned.
Damn.
I feel like it kind of, not like it set me back, but it kind of like made me rethink what the stage that I want to be at a certain age. Like right now, I don't really know what to describe this stage as right now. I'm dating, obviously, but like, I don't know. I'm just kind of here, taking it day by day, step by step, you know? But that's just me.
So I definitely agree. I feel like dating should be fun right now in the 20s. I think like when I'm thinking about like going on dates, it doesn't necessarily have to deal with like the pressures of like finding or looking for a husband. Like I definitely agree with Kai, like dating is about experiences. Like you should get to know yourself as well, and like you get to know how people see you and how people perceive you and how people, you know, love you and how people show you love. And I don't think that's something you should experience in the first relationship that you are and you end up marrying them. I think it's like all about exploration. That's what dating's about, and keeping it fun, keeping it young. And I don't think we should fall into the pressures of society right now that are telling us that we need to have babies, because definitely in college, to Kennedi's point earlier, in college, like I wanted to have kids when I was when I was 28. I was like, at 28, I'm gonna have my first child. By my 32nd child coming up, I'm already gonna be with my husband in our house. And right now at 28, I want to make sure none of that is happening.
I'm crying.
But yeah, like I'm just like more career focused and more like self-focused than like thinking of an entire husband and child, and that's just not me right now when it comes to dating.
Feel you.
Yeah, like honestly, my view has definitely changed since college, because I definitely did want to be married by 25. I definitely did want to have kids by 28, and that's definitely not going to happen. So, I feel like for me, honestly, I don't really know like what my dating life is like right now. Like dating is definitely different, I feel like, because I try to be more aware of the type of dudes I talk to in terms of like if it does get serious, like can I potentially see like a serious future with this person? But then again, I'm also trying to focus on like my career and like what I really want to do. And for some reason, when I get on that path, these dudes just be popping up out of nowhere. And I'm not really sure, you know, I try to like steer away, but then they just keep popping up and I don't really know how to explain
Girl.
that. Like I really try, because I don't really consider myself to be dating. Like I don't date, I don't go on dates. I like talk to dudes, I guess, hang out maybe. Whenever it's been like, oh, can I take you out? Or like what is that? I don't know. But I feel like I'm trying to enjoy the process of like just being cool and meeting people and stuff like that, to a lot of the points that you guys mentioned before. I feel like when I was in college that I was like really fixated on trying to be in a relationship and like all that type of stuff. That didn't happen. And I feel like now I'm trying to like not focus so much on that and kind of just like, I guess, enjoy people.
Right. I feel like a lot of this, I won't say for everybody, but I know for people in this circle, faith is very important to us. And I know like for us, for all of our listeners, when I say faith, I don't mean that it has to be the same for all of us. Like you can have faith in many different things, but for us, I know that we all share a similar faith. Yeah, so I just want to ask y'all how you think your faith has changed and grown over the years.
I think like for me, you know, I grew up very Catholic, the Catholic Church with my family, and I think that was like the only faith that we knew. And you know, growing up, I feel like whatever your family is, like you're brought up in that religion, and you know, that's something that I've always like just done, like growing up. So you know, communion, confirmation, baptism, like you do all those things because like you have to do them, not necessarily because you understand at that age. And I feel like it wasn't up until, you know, I went through some shit. It wasn't up until, you know, I got to really experience God, that like it started to sink into me what this religion really means. And I think like it took me going away from my family, like going to college, and it took me learning about the religion on my own and like really starting to understand what it's all about for me to actually connect with my spirituality. And I think like I didn't start to do that until like maybe I was like 21, really like senior year of high school. I mean high school. Ooh, I was 21 high school. Senior year of college, where like I really sat down and like read up on the Bible, read up on Christianity, read up on Catholicism, like read up on all of these things, and like I said, experienced it on my own, that I started to really connect with it. And I'm grateful for that, because that's definitely like my faith definitely pushes me and guards me a lot. And I'm really grateful that I was able to like go away and learn about it on my own and not being coerced into the religion, which I think makes like a huge difference.
I think my experience was similar to Sunja's in that way of I grew up Christian, Baptist. I'd be in church every Sunday. I put my little dollar in the offering thing because you're supposed to tithe 10%. And I was just going through rituals and practices that I didn't completely understand. I knew that, you know, Jesus loved me. So yeah, I love Jesus. But I think it wasn't until I went away to college and I was confronted with circumstances and people that weren't familiar to me. I was tested a lot. And I didn't have my family and my support system at home to rely on to say, you know, we can get you through every single issue that you face. That I said, okay, so who do I have other than myself? I mean, I have friends, I have coaches, I have teachers, but at the end of the day, I realized all of these things are conditional. Even my friendships sometimes. Like people aren't perfect, so I can't expect them to always be there to support me, but God will always be there. He'll never leave me. I always have scripture to rely on in times where I feel, you know, really defeated or discouraged. And I think that once I relied on unconditional love and faith, I think I started to be more rewarded. And I think too, what a lot of faith is about, it's not about instant gratification. Why the parts of my college experience were hard for me was because I would always want to quit. Not that I would give up every time I was faced with hard things, but it's so easy to say, I want to give up on this. I wanted to transfer so many times. I wanted to quit basketball so many times. And honestly, if I would have quit when I wanted to, which was my freshman year, I wouldn't have seen and reaped the benefits of what I did now, of graduating with a degree, saying I made it. Like, it's so much more rewarding now. And I think that's kind of what God is trying to relay, what the Bible is trying to relay. If you keep faith in him through the hard times, he'll reward you abundantly and above all you could ever ask for in the future. So that's my piece.
But for me, I also grew up in the church every Sunday, sometimes on Tuesdays when they had Bible study, all that jazz. So coming to school, it was kind of a rude awakening for me because I didn't have that consistent, like, okay, go to church every Sunday and that stuff. So like trying to kind of maneuver my way, like with God, I ran into some difficulties because I felt like not having him in my life, I guess, became easier, if that makes sense, because like there was just less responsibilities. Like, okay, because people know you're Christian, you have to carry yourself a certain way and all that stuff. But what I really want to say is that basically, like, my faith took a major hit because, like, in school, you learn about a lot of things, and that I was ignorant to, that my parents kind of hid me from, that society hid me from. So, like, learning that the world really isn't the greatest place, beginning to question God, like, why are all these things happening in the world? If you're supposed to be the one who, like, fixes all, who knows everything, like, why is all this happening? So that kind of tested, I guess, my faith in him. I feel like my relationship with him really didn't blossom until I became the president of Fellowship of Christian Athletes at Binghamton. So like having to kind of dive into the word every week, like having to make sure that a lesson is available to everyone every week. I feel like God was able to speak into my life and show me a little bit of my purpose, even though I'm still questioning what my purpose is, but definitely showing me a little bit of what my purpose is in helping others grow and develop, whether it be in the word, whether it be in their life.
Yeah, I really like what a lot of what you guys said, because I remember the other day we were talking and I was like saying, like, I don't think that you can be like steadfast in your faith unless you've ever been tested. If you've never had not one question and you've never been tested, then how can you really say that this is it? It's like the only thing you know, but you have to experience other things that, like, you know, have a conversation with someone who thinks differently, you know what I mean? To kind of like, you know, say that this is it. I don't know. My experience is very different. Like, yes, like I grew up Christian, but we didn't go to church every Sunday. We did go to church, but not consistently every Sunday. And even like now, like I have chosen to go to church by myself sometimes just because I feel like, you know, I want to know more, because I feel like I'm kind of behind with like that knowledge. But I feel like I get way more out of like, and you know, other people have different opinions, but I feel like I get way more out of Bible study than I do out of church itself. Because church can be a lot of like politics, you know, and sometimes it is also about community building. And like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I don't want to hear all that. I'm just trying to hit a word and I'm trying to keep it pushing.
You know, for me, I feel like I'm very similar to what all of you pretty much touched on. I grew up Christian. I went to a Catholic school for 2 years in high school, though that was different. But I feel like, you know, being in college, again, I wouldn't say my faith was tested, but I was tested. and it was because of my faith that I got through it. Like, I went through a lot of stuff that I generally don't know how I would have gotten through if it wasn't for God, because obviously my parents weren't around, and also you guys too, but my parents wasn't around, so it was like solely relied on me. And I know that I had like a book. It was like a book that basically had like daily readings in it that I would read in the mornings, and I think that
I really liked that.
I think that really helped me just kind of like, it's good kind of to have God be the first thing that's on your mind or something you think about right in the morning. Also, something I really like to do is listen to gospel music. I feel like that just really just like, brings my energy up. And, a lot of things that they sing about and talk about are, is real stuff. And I feel like whenever I'm going through something, like, I like to listen to that music to uplift me, praying too. And I feel like sometimes one thing I do need to work on, and that I have noticed, is that like I try not to do this, but praying when things get wrong instead of always praying and thanking God like all the time. I feel like a lot of people, get caught up in just calling on him when you need him, not just like, just to say, thank you for blessing me, things like that. So as I went through college, and even now, like, I started to become more conscious of that, and just kind of always continue to grow my relationship with God, because, without him, a lot of things I would not have gotten through. So, and just, I think it's also good too to have conversations about him or like his work with your friends. But yeah, that's my story, I guess.
No, I think I think like a lot of us, we have like similar stories, and there are clearly also differing stories. And, I feel like this kind of just goes back to what we were talking about in I don't remember which episode, but previous episodes, where it's like we're brought together by more than just one thing, more than just being athletes, more than just being Black. There are multiple reasons why we became friends and why we're still friends. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. I know a lot of y'all have these conversations with us while you're listening, and that's what we love to hear. We appreciate all of you for listening in and for your continued support. You can follow us on Instagram at We Are Boss Talk, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, and the Apple Podcast app at Boss Talk. You can also find the link to each of these in our Instagram bio. We also want to hear from you, so if you have any topics that you would like to hear us discuss and low-key discuss with us, feel free to DM us on Instagram or email us at wearebostalk@gmail.com. Tune in next Tuesday for our next episode, and remember, as bosses, we can never lose. We can only win or learn. See y'all next time.
Deuces.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.